Hello guys and welcome to the Fight Life Nation. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 272. This is a fight that's headlined between Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington. It's a pay-per-view that's going to be coming up on Saturday, March 5th. On the undercard it's on the prelims, but it's the main event of the prelims. Jalin Turner will be taking on Jaime Mullarkey in what is a matchup of highly rated prospects. This is what I would call prospects who, although they are still young, they have a high potential rate. Unlike some other prospects that I have reviewed in the past that are on the undercard further down, these guys are actually guys who one day could challenge at least for the top contendership. I don't know if either guy is ever going to be an elite fighter. Definitely both of them show signs of potential, but it'll be interesting to see. This is a big fight where they're matching them up early in their careers. It doesn't always happen, so it's a very exciting fight. We're going to break down each fighter individually. We'll talk about some of their past fights, and then I'll give you my prediction and who I think is going to win and how I think it's going to go. So we're going to start off with Jalin Turner. Jalin Turner, his nickname's the Tarantula. He's 26 years old. He's got a pro MMA record of 11-5-0. He's 6'3", and he has a 75.5-inch reach. So Jalin Turner, if you ever look at him, he's built like Jon Jones. And full disclosure, I really like Jalin Turner. Jalin Turner, right when he turned pro, he gave me an interview. I was able to interview him. I went to his gym in San Bernardino. He couldn't have been a cooler guy. I went there with my wife. He treated me and her very much with respect. I became an instant fan. I've been a fan of his ever since. So I'm really rooting for him his whole career. I really want to see him succeed. Jalin Turner, at the time, he was telling us, when I did this interview, just how much he trains. He goes to all kinds of different gyms. He had this whole list of all the different gyms he would be at, so that way I would know where to go meet him. And I mean, he went to a gym for wrestling. He went to a gym for MMA training, for striking training. He had a jiu-jitsu gym. He really was making a full day every day out of practice. And that just shows the commitment that he has. And you can see it in the way he fights. He's a very great fighter. So let's just talk about Jalin Turner. The number one thing that I just say about Jalin Turner before we even go over the fights is he's built a lot like Jon Jones, where he's tall and lanky, but he doesn't have nearly the same kind of wrestling that Jon Jones has. And he doesn't, to me, use his skills like he should. He doesn't do a lot of things that take advantage of his height and his reach advantage. And the best example of that, if you want to go back, watch a fight, you got to go on YouTube. It's from CXF8. He fought a guy named Richard Leroy. And this is an exciting fight. This is a fight that you'll love to watch if you go back and watch it. It was back and forth. Jalin Turner ends up taking the loss, but in that fight, he makes it a striking battle. And I mean, it was a war. If he really wanted to win, I think he would have to learn to neutralize others' striking. But he seems to always be game, always want to fight. It leaves him open to get hit, and that's what happens a lot. And it actually happened in his debut. So let's talk about his debut in the UFC. He starts in a contender series, and he wins. He was doing really good in the fight. His opponent ends up breaking the foot. They call the fight, and this is in round 2. He doesn't get the contract, so it seemed like a disappointment. But when Vicente Luque was set to fight on the Khabib versus Conor undercard, his opponent fell out, and they needed a replacement, and they called Jalin Turner. So Jalin Turner was coming up from lightweight. Maybe that's why they called him, because they knew that he would be on weight. He's built big. I mean, he's built at 6'3", but when he fought Luque just like a steamroller, overwhelmed him, hit him hard, knocked him out, left him twitching on the floor. It was a really bad knockout. Let's see if I can see exactly how long he took off after that. So that fight was in October of 2018. He didn't fight again. He didn't take that long off. He fought again in February of 2019, so he only took 4 or 5 months off. But it was a really bad knockout. I'm surprised he came back so soon. So in his next fight, he came back. He got a win, a TKO on punches over Kalen Potter. And then he had lost the decision to Matt Frevola. There's no shame in that. Matt Frevola is a good prospect himself. And then that's when I started watching the tape. I started watching the Joshua Kulilabo. That's where they had it on ESPN Plus. I can only watch tape from what's on ESPN Plus. I don't have Fight Pass. So against Joshua Kulilabo, he looked great. Kulilabo looked outmatched. He used his striking a lot. He was able to get Kulilabo to the ground. And he hit him with some ground and pound, and he finished the fight. But really what he did is he hurt him when he was standing up. The number one thing that I would say about Jalin Turner is he's very dynamic. He likes to go to the ground. He's not really going to be the guy who takes you down with good wrestling or something. He likes to take advantage of situations, whether it's he rocks you or you slip up or you try to take him down. And then he likes to go for submissions. Like, he's really big into going for submissions. He likes to stay busy. He stays busy on the floor. And when he gets taken down, he likes to stay busy. He doesn't really accept the position. That said, he hasn't fought too many people that would make him accept the position. He had a couple canceled bouts after the Kulilabo fight. He was actually supposed to fight Jaime Mullarkey on February of 2020. And then that got canceled. He was supposed to fight Thiago Moises in September of 2020. And that got canceled. So then he came back and he fought another Contender Series guy. He fought Brock Weaver. And in this fight, it wasn't really a close fight. Jalin Turner looked great. Jalin Turner really looked like he had elite striking in this fight. Like I said, he mixes it up. He throws elbows. He puts you up against the cage. He's very dynamic in his striking. I wouldn't say, I used the word elite a second ago. I wouldn't say it's elite. It's very good. He's very good at striking. And I like the way he mixes it up. He's not a basic fighter. The problem that he has is he leaves himself open. In this particular fight, he won. He got a rear naked choke. He was able to get him to the ground, hit him with the rear naked choke, which he's really good at capitalizing positions. I was a fan. I was a fan of that fight. I thought he did really good in that performance. His next fight, I feel like he came as an underdog. He came in against Uros Medic, and Medic at the time was the favorite. I think he was 7-1. He was 7-0 when he fought Jalin Turner, and Medic was coming off the Contender Series as well. He had a win against Alon Cruz. So when he fought Jalin Turner, I think a lot of people were picking Medic to win, but Jalin Turner went out there. It was a great fight. Once again, that was another time that he choked out his opponent. He's coming off 2 chokes. This was a rear naked choke, but he set it up with ground and pound with punches. He really hurt Medic in that fight. He's just he looks next level right now as far as his submission and finishing game. The next fighter we're going to talk about is Jaime Mullarkey. Jaime Mullarkey is an Australian fellow. He comes from, he was born in Australia. I'm trying to look for the city that he fights. He fights out of Central Coast, New South Wales. He's 27 years old, so he's only a year older than Jalin Turner. He's 14-4-0. So he has a better record than Jalin Turner. He's had a few more fights. He's going to be 3 inches shorter at 6 foot, and he's got a 74-inch reach. So that just shows you, even though Jalin Turner is much taller, he doesn't have a ginormous reach. I think he only has like a 3-inch reach advantage over Mullarkey. Mullarkey's a big welterweight. When you look at him, he looks big. He's got a big back. He throws big punches. His when you watch him, he throws like a piston-like jab, and he throws an overhand right. He can wrestle. That's one thing I don't see Jalin Turner's other fighters that he fought, his other opponents, wrestling. So that's going to be interesting. He's bringing that to the game. Jaime Mullarkey's had an up-and-down career in the UFC, though. He's pretty new to it. He came in, it was October of 2019, and his first fight was against Brad Riddell. It was a fight of the night. This was an awesome fight. I highly recommend you go back. It had a little bit of everything. It had striking, it had wrestling, it had comebacks, it had swings and momentum. It was a fun fight to watch. Jaime Mullarkey, I think if I really would have been paying attention at that time, I would have been a bigger fan of his. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a whole lot of Jaime Mullarkey up until I watched this research. I wasn't keeping up with him. So that fight was awesome. He ends up coming on the short end of the stick. Brad Riddell looked really good that fight. He hurt him a couple times. And I think it was a good way for Jaime Mullarkey to break into the UFC, to get some recognition. I think it really set him up for the future in the rankings. The next fight that Jaime Mullarkey had, he fought Faraz Zaim, and that's a French fellow. He comes from the same camp as Cyril Gane. This is the closest fight to what I think Jalin Turner will pose. They have similar builds. Faraz Zaim is a tall guy like Jalin Turner. They have similar styles where they like to strike. They like to do a little bit on the ground. They stay busy. They're dynamic. And in this fight, it was another close fight. There wasn't if he got the takedown. If Mullarkey got the takedown, Zaim worked his way up. When they struck, they were pretty even. They were pretty close. There's a couple times that he hurt Zaim, but Zaim took advantage of a lot of situations. And in this fight, Mullarkey got pushed to his limit, and he didn't get beaten up, but he lost. I thought Zaim did enough to win. And this is the closest representation, as I say, of what I think this fight's going to look like as far as the two fighters and the way they fight. However, that being said, the next two fights, Mullarkey's looked spectacular. The first one was against Kama Worthy. They were both coming off a loss. Kama Worthy had a lot of hype when he was coming off the Contender Series. He goes in there, he fights Mullarkey. Mullarkey was standing very, I don't know if the word would be wide, but very like a karate stance almost, or really just being able to load up on his on his right hand. And he went to fake a jab, or he was going to fake like he was going to overhand right, and instead he threw a left hook, clips Kama right on the chin, right on the button, and it was over. It was only 46 seconds into the first round. It was a tremendous win. It really helped skyrocket Mullarkey. His next fight, he took on Devontae Smith, another good prospect. Devontae was looking good in this fight. Devontae is an explosive puncher. I think he's he out of all the prospects we're talking about, I think Devontae has the most explosive punching. But Mullarkey was able to outstrike him in this fight. Just wore on him, mixed it up a little bit, ended up getting the knockout. And it was a good fight. I think it really sets Mullarkey up. It's good to see them both coming off good win streaks. Jalin Turner's coming off a 3-win win streak. Mullarkey's coming off a 2-win win streak. So they're each trying to rise up into the rankings. They're trying to break into the rankings. I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of this fight is actually ranked. Lightweight is a very tough weight division to get ranked in, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it to the rankings. In this fight, I'm going to give you my prediction now. I was watching the video. Like I said, I'm a Jalin Turner fan. I really want to lean towards him in every fight. I want him to succeed. What I see about Jalin Turner when I watch him fight is he doesn't use his height and reach as well as he should. And I think that might hurt him against Mullarkey. If Mullarkey can land the hard shot, if he can land that overhand right that he throws, I really do think it's going to hurt Jalin Turner. That being said, I'm going to pick Turner this fight, and I'm going to say why is because of his dynamicness. I think the way he mixes it up on the feet, the way he pushes people up against the cage, he doesn't just push you up against the cage. He's going to throw elbows. He's going to throw knees. He's going to try and take you down. He's going to try and get a submission whenever he's on the floor. I don't think Mullarkey has fought anyone as dynamic as him, but when he fought Zaim, who I thought was the closest, he came up short. So I'm going to go with history. I'm going to go with, even though I think Mullarkey's fought tougher fighters than Jalin Turner, which might lead to Mullarkey having better experience, I think when he fought the guys who are most like Jalin Turner, or the one guy who is most like Jalin Turner, he came up short. So that's my pick. Go ahead and let me know who you guys think is going to win in the comment section. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm not really confident in this pick. It's really a 50-50 fight. It's a fun fight. I'm super excited for it. I checked the odds, and to tell you the truth, Jalin Turner is a favorite. He's a sizable favorite. He's a minus 155 favorite. Mullarkey's a plus 135. You put $100 down, you win 135. With Jalin Turner, you got to put $155 down and win 100. That's how that works. But yeah, in this fight, I don't know if I would make Jalin Turner that big of a favorite. He hasn't fought the stiff level of competition. I really feel like this is a pick 'em fight. I'm going with Jalin Turner. Let me know who you're picking down in the comment section. Please share this video, like, and subscribe. If you want to see more videos, let me know. I'm going to be doing a few more from this pay-per-view. Make sure you follow channels, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.